Yes, greetings, blessings, people. We have special guest right here, live and direct on the Big Bad Station with yours truly, DJkat the Kat-a-lyst. So, special guest, are you there?
Yes, young Paul from Dukes of Roots. Yeah, man.
Every time. So, you know what? For people who don't know who you are and what you're about, tell us who you are and a little something about what you do.
All right, so we are the Dukes of Roots. You know what I mean? Even though I'm here by myself now. Yeah. So this is a collection of musicians and, you know what I mean, songwriters.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, like you have Fully Fullwood and Mermans, you know what I'm saying? You have Courtney, Bomb Drums, you have myself, Young Paul, and you have T-Rad, you know, from Boston.
Mm.
But I mean, for myself, I've been around a while now. I used to work with Damien for over 20 years, and I'm his producer. I worked on a few of his albums.
Okay.
And won Grammys with them as well, and Kabaka last album. So we are in the, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Fully's a legendary bass player from Peter Tosh time and Soul Syndicate. So, you know, and my brother Courtney is on drums, who's Damien's drummer right now too. So it's a collection of, you know, people in the business.
I love
so
that.
We just come together to do this movement.
Yeah.
Called Dukes of Roots, you know?
Love that. So, what made you kind of go into this vibe of coming together? Because obviously you've all got different vibes already. You're already doing amazing things with different artists. But what made you decide, you know what, we need to do a little something as well?
Well, can you just repeat the last part? Because I was thinking about it.
No problem. And I was just saying, what made you decide, you know, we need to do a little something as well? So you're doing something with different artists, doing amazing things like you mentioned, but then you've gone off a little bit to do your own little thing as well. What made you want to do that?
All right, so to be honest, so I was doing my production thing differently, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But this idea of the Dukes of Roots,
Yeah.
Came about with T-Rad and Mermans and Fully. You know, this was their project and stuff. And then I came on, me and my brother came on later on as a musician and stuff. And then, like, you know, as it progresses, you know, I think, you know, they reached out for me to be a producer, not just a musician. And then, you know,
Yeah.
that's how I got involved. And, you know, I mean, everything evolved.
Mm.
And it's been a great journey and a very interesting one. So, it's, you know, music is endless and opportunities, you know, are endless too. We have one life, so we have to do as much as we can, you know, I mean, to spread the message.
I hear that, 100%. And you know, there's so many amazing musicians, especially from the beautiful place of Jamaica and the Caribbean in general. But what is it that makes a musician? Because people think it's easy, but I'm sure it's not that easy. But you tell us.
Well, you know, the definition for a musician has changed over the years, especially now. So with all these computers and stuff. So I'll say my definition from, you know, because I've been around a little while.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's hard work because, you know, you have to put in your practice and stuff, and you have to listen a lot. You know, I mean, you have to like master your craft away.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. So. But I don't know, something about this Jamaica and this the vibration, the vibes there. It's just like once you start to do music and stuff, it's like cooking. You just take on this flavor. You know what I mean? So you know, but it's the hard work, and it all depends on where you wanna reach. You know what I mean?
I hear that, 100%. And I know, speaking to lots of different artists, they do tell me that it's hard in Jamaica to get their music out there, to allow for radio in particular to play their music and so on. How have you found it when you've put something together? Have you found it easy to put it out there, or is it still difficult for yourself?
It's still difficult somewhat. You know what I mean? But it's really difficult just because, as I said, the sound and music has changed. You know what I mean? And you know, it's like fast food. Music has become this fast food producer. You know what I mean? Where the MSGs and all of that stuff, I'm not kind of disrespecting anybody's music, but I mean, people have to survive. People have to survive, and you know, the quick what's in now, and I think the DJs and some of the radio people, they're on that stuff too. What's popping, what the crowd is moving to. whether it's good or bad energy. It's just what is, you know what I mean? So that makes it hard for people to put out music. Also, there's a lot of people out there who have the title artists. And there's a lot of music being produced on the hour, every hour.
Yeah,
so, but it's hard. Of course it's hard. It's not easy, you know?
Yeah, I hear that. So speaking of that, because there has been, for myself, I feel like so a lot of the time, especially now, it seems to be more about the quantity of music rather than the quality of it. How are you finding it? And is it kind of, I'm going to say, is it irritating? I'm not sure if that's the right word, but is it irritating as such to know that basically crap music is coming out?
Of course, it is, but I have to be honest.
Yeah.
Sometimes some of them put you in a little vibes, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
there's just this one or two that will kind of make sense sometimes, or just, you know what I mean? It's all a vibe, but the majority, most of it is as I said, it's like fast food. You could just open up a restaurant and start to cook food. You know what I'm saying? And it's the same thing with the music. Imagine you spend all your time practicing and go to school, whether you go to school for music or not, but you spend days, months, years practicing the thing and listening to proper music and try to understand the science behind it.
Yeah.
And then here comes some people with the computer thing. They just do some things and put out. And just because people react to it, remember, people don't really, majority of the audience don't really know the science behind the music. They just know that it makes them feel a certain way.
Yeah.
You know, and I think people take advantage of that.
Yeah. I hear that. But you know, I know here in the UK, somebody who was constantly talking about kind of the frequency and kind of the science behind it was Jashaka. I'm not sure. You know Jashaka?
No.
So he was a very renowned sound system person here in the UK. And he would always talk about the frequency and kind of the energy behind it. And especially in like the dub scene here in the UK, Europe and so forth, it seems like the rhythm seems to kind of take over more than the message. And I wondered, you know, yourself being so renowned and so on, does that worry you in the sense of the rhythms becoming the important part rather than the message?
I wouldn't use the word worry.
Yeah.
Because I just believe that things happen for a reason, and you know, the truth will prevail. But I think it's half and half. I think people are experimenting.
Yeah.
Too.
Okay.
But also I want to talk on both sides for a minute, because I think, you know, sometimes people, when they're stressed out and all of this, all they want to do sometimes is just to release and just enjoy themselves, not to have a message song. You know what I'm saying? So there's a place for that too.
Okay.
But also people who need a message will be in that same audience and don't receive a message as well, or receive a negative message. So, you know what I mean? That's how I think.
Yeah.
Because you know what I mean? But I wouldn't say I'm worried. But that's why we have to use some producer, you know, because we have to play our part, you know what I'm saying?
I hear that. And you know, when I'm guessing that you go on tour, like you mentioned with Damien and so on, what is it that you kind of capture for yourself? What do you take away on each tour, or is it always different?
Alright, so it's been so long, and maybe to say take away.
Yeah.
It's like it's repeating after a while. It's repeating after you have taken away stuff, and it's kind of seeping over and over. It becomes like second nature, where it's like, okay, but you mean I really understand the power of music.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, and see how influential an artist or musician is. You know what I'm saying. So you know, and always like this, how to carry yourself professional.
Yeah. I hear that. And speaking of carrying yourself professional, I mean, there's gonna be a lot of young people listening. What would kind of you recommend about professionalism? Because sometimes you see, and people aren't so professional. But what would you say for young artists up and coming so that they can do that?
I tell you the truth. I could say something, but honestly, I think it's all about the person too.
Okay.
Because you know what I mean, the person's behavior, how they feel, how they, remember everybody operates off a vibration, and it's their vibration too. So, I mean, just be true to yourself. That's the only message I can say. Be true to yourself. And you know, yeah, honestly, because I could say, okay, you know, don't always try to follow, you know, people call it the mix up and all of that stuff, but really and truly, if the person is not teachable or it makes no sense, so all you can say is just be true to yourself.
Yeah.
And you will find your way. Yeah.
I hear that. And you know, one of the tunes that I have heard you put out there is Mommy and Daddy. And I want to know, I want to know about this tune. Tell me about it.
You went way back. I mean,
That's it.
Wow. Alright, so honestly, that was 20 years ago.
Yeah, man.
Probably, yeah, also. You know, this was when I was in Jamaica at the time and just kind of practicing, you know, and that's around the time when I got into the production thing and tried to find out how software works and all of that stuff. And I used to work with local artists in my area and stuff. And
yeah,
you know, it was hard to explain to them the songs and things. So one day I just sat there in front of the mic and I just started singing, and I put the song together and say, at least kind of show them like, yo, like write a song like this, or you know what I mean? And
yeah. But
it's a true story. That's how I felt about everything in my parents, you know what I'm saying? You know, some people would put out a song about their mom or about their dad, but I said, no, I'm gonna do Mommy and Daddy because, you know, I grew up with both of them, and you know.
Yeah. I love that. That's why I had to mention it, because I love that track. Definitely. 100%. So let's speak about this new, well, I'm going to say new endeavor, and you said that you've all come together. Tell us, like, are you all very different, very similar? Like, tell us about the whole group and the whole vibe.
Alright, so honestly, I'm going to give you my answer, but also this is, for a better answer, it would be like Rod or Mermans, and they could really get into the depth of, you know what I'm saying? But I could just give you a surface answer.
Okay.
I mean, being that I came on late, but you know, I wouldn't say we are different because it's the same music, but we are trying to. These guys are older than I am, right? And they really love roots music.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? And that is the basis of it. So we are trying to almost, we'd say, like preserve it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And kind of, because if you listen to the instrumentation, it's live instruments and taking us back, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we're just trying to do happy, and the songs are not so heavy, you know what I mean? So we're trying to do happy, clean music and still stay true to the sound of roots and stuff. So it's not like we're trying to be different.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But we're not trying to sound like everybody else, I must say, but we want to sound good, like good roots, clean music. That's what we want, and playing live and giving the people what they want. Yeah.
Do you feel like that's what's missing in these times at the moment? Good, clean roots music.
Well, I would say it's missing on a commercial level. But it is there.
Yeah.
But it's just not being pushed, and you know, the world has gone to a place where it's all about business, and that's why there's no message anymore. But because the system is whatever music they're pushing now, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's there. If people really want a message, they can go and search for it. So there are songs out there on iTunes or YouTube, anywhere. There are good, clean, positive music.
For real.
Tons of that out there. It's where you put your attention to, and if you want people to lead you in any direction. Well, it is there. But on the commercial scene, you're not going to find it there.
I hear that. I hear that. Maybe yourselves will be up there. I have no doubt in that.
Yeah. And we have to, and to tell you the truth, just to strengthen this too, you know, I think positive people, like, you know what I mean, who wants to do positive music and stuff, should really try to be more, like, easier to work with. Because that is one of the problems. It's not easy to work with, you know, some of these artists too. You know what I mean? So these are, you know what I mean, we need to come together and try to push this positive message instead of trying to. Everybody wants to be on top.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that is why too there's less of the positive music too pushing, because I don't think we're really finding a way out to really come together and put the focus on one thing. I think the other side of music knows how to do that. That's why I have so much of that kind of music, because they found a way to unite and push that stuff. You know
I hear that, yeah. I hear that.
Man.
But you are definitely right in the sense of coming together and unifying, because it is difficult, especially to find the right people as well. You know, you can find people, but whether it's the right people is like a different avenue. You know?
Yeah.
So it is difficult, but like you said, that's why I'm excited that you guys have come together, because I feel like it'll bring a different flavor, a different energy to the whole scene.
Yeah, man.
For real.
It's all about living. Honestly, we're not trying to be difficult, and we're just trying to just live now, so people can see that it's alright. It's easy. It's not a hard thing to just to do clean, nice music, or to enjoy or listen to it. You know what I mean? It's not. It's for everybody. Fun. You know?
I hear that, definitely. I think somebody else is coming into the room. Somebody else is joining us. I love that. Who could it be?
So who is it now? Bomb drums.
Blessings.
Bless.
How are you?
Yeah, the flight just landed.
Oh gosh. I'm glad that you got there safe.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun, but you know.
Yeah, I hear that. We were just talking about kind of the music industry. We were talking about kind of how you guys got together. So, I mean, you got to introduce yourself now to the people, who you are and how you joined and how you got involved.
Alright, so my name is Courtney Dietrich. Most people know me as Bam. I'm the drummer for Dukes of Roots, and I'm also the brother of Sean. And how I got introduced to Dukes of Roots was through Mermans, before it was called Dukes of Roots, before we even came up with the name. So I've worked with Mermans over the years.
Yeah,
so I'm sure probably you guys have moved past how everything started, right, Sean? And that's but still your perspective. Alright, so basically Mermans, and by the way, is it just me and you, Sean? Yeah, because that guys aren't here. Yeah, so basically, Mermans and Rod hooked up because Rod had a song that he wanted Mermans to do.
Yeah.
So from there, they started with Mermans and Fully in California, and that was during COVID, the lockdown. So they had some rough ideas of the songs. So they wanted it to have a more authentic reggae sound. So that's when Mermans got a hold of me and Sean.
Okay.
So that's how we started. I went to Tough Gang and recorded some drums on it. Sean played some piano and keyboards and stuff on it. So from there, that's how I got introduced. And then from there, you know, it was more than just us playing, just adding to the songs.
Okay.
We saw it like, it's a great opportunity for us to make this more than just these songs, or just, So that's how it really started.
Yeah.
And from there, Sean, if you want to add anything. No, I had my little spice. Okay, so.
I hear that.
Yeah.
You guys are brothers, so I know there's already automatic love already. But people always want to know what are the challenges as brothers, but what are the successes as well? Let's go with the successes first, though. Positive vibes. And then, is there any challenges being brothers? And then, how do you overcome that?
Whose question is this?
Whoever can answer.
I've been talking for a while.
I like that. He passed it to you quick.
All right, no problem. So it has been mainly success. Challenges, before you even reach challenges, because I don't think we have any of that really.
Yeah.
Because it's just always positive vibes, especially the fact that we were doing music before starting touring, and before even Dukes of Roots, we were touring with, which I am still working with Damian Marley.
Yeah.
So it's been from birth until now, we've been
together musically, you know, doing music classes and playing at in the hotels and, you know, all of that. So touring, it's like we're still home. A lot of people don't get to enjoy the benefits of having your sibling on the road with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, anything you can discuss, you know, it's different. When you don't have that around, you just feel like you're just way out in the middle of the sea or so.
I hear that.
And achieving, winning Grammys, you know, you share that also, and you make your home proud, your hometown, everybody. Yeah, and then now you're moving on to Dukes of Roots. This is now our thing, so, you know, it is even more special.
Yeah.
And you're gonna put, even though we were putting 100%, but you're gonna put 200 now.
I hear that. I hear that.
Yeah.
I love that.
So, pardon?
I love that. I love that you guys are very close knit. I love that vibe.
Yeah. It can be a pain sometimes, but you know. So now you understand the challenges.
Yeah.
So that's it, because you know it can be late sometimes.
Okay.
Everybody would come to me and ask, "Hey man, can you talk to your brother because he's not on time now?" And then I have to be the bigger brother and say, "Yo, what's going on?" Because they're complaining to me, but in truth and in fact, because he has so much workload, like the programming and all of that.
Yeah.
So sometimes he will be in his room finalizing stuff for the show we have.
Yeah.
But they don't understand that.
Oh,
but I understand that, you know.
Yeah.
So those are some of the minor challenges.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not challenge like you would think.
Yeah. I hear that.
Yeah.
What are you saying to that young pal? What are you saying?
Yeah, I understand. I approve that.
Yeah. I love that. So, the name of the group, how did you guys come up with that name? Why Dukes of Roots? Why that particular name?
Yes, I mean, it came about when we were searching for names, for a name actually, and we were going through a lot of names, and all of them just kind of sound just regular, you know?
Yeah.
And I was just looking at the band and seeing all the players, you know, who have served on the scene for a while, and you know, you have all of these titles in reggae, and in music, but in reggae, so to speak. You have the king of reggae, you have prince, and you know what I mean, queen of so we say, okay, dukes. If you have a king, and you know what I mean,
yeah,
dukes, because we are still on the battlefield. We are soldiers too, but we are of a different rank, because I mean, you have to go up the ranks. So we just say, alright, Dukes of Roots. You know what I mean? And yeah, that's why. And if you want, that's the real meaning behind it too. Just meaning behind that, you know?
I hear that, 100%. And of course, you guys are fundamental in putting everything together. So without you guys, 9 times out of 10, there'd be no show, right?
As in the brothers?
Yeah, as anything. I mean, you guys are the instruments of the music. So without you,
you mean?
Yeah.
Of course, I fully understand.
Yeah. So without you guys, there is no show. There is nothing happening.
Yeah, unless it's an a cappella show.
There you go.
Our tracks.
Tracks. But they're still musicians play the tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear that.
Silence. Yeah.
So, would you recommend for the listeners to pick up an instrument to start learning that?
Of course. I mean, it's therapeutic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's good. You can relax. Yeah. Same like when you take up your phone or you take up your video game, take up the music. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I hear that.
Something as simple as a drum, because you know a lot of times you're listening music, you're tapping your feet, or you know, just knocking to the rhythm.
Yeah.
But that's natural. That's, you know, a heartbeat. Yeah.
100%. But how did you guys find your instrument? Because obviously one of you played the keyboard, one of you played the drums. How did you find that was your instrument?
That's very interesting, because originally,
my
father sent our bigger brother John to piano lessons.
Oh, okay.
And he sent, John and my sister went first, but my sister was afraid of the piano teacher because she was up in age. She was like probably in her 70s at the time, so she had white hair and all, so she was kind of scared, so she didn't really want to go. So I went in her space.
Okay.
Yeah, and all my other siblings also went. Sean went also.
Yeah.
Then shortly after that, my brother was working at a hotel that got closed down, and they were selling out all this stuff like the furniture, the instruments and all. So my brother bought all the backline instruments.
Okay.
So he brought it home, and it was like our first time sitting around a drum set.
Wow, okay.
So that's when we went around there, started, feeling it out and stuff. And for example, what is like a Wednesday?
Yeah.
On Sunday, we had it playing at church.
Nice.
So, yeah, and all of us took turns. And I don't know if Sean would share the same story, but in my opinion, what I can remember, Sean and my other brother took turns first.
Oh, okay.
And, I was the last one to take a turn.
Yeah.
And I remember, when I took a turn, I remember there was this man standing because we had some neighbors coming to watch because they were kind of, curious to see what's going on. So when they were watching, I heard one of them say, but this little one has a special little sound. So I remember, and that resonated with me. So, that's important. It's very important for what we say to kids. Because, just for him to say that gave me the confidence and it motivated me to continue.
Wow.
So, yeah, and I started playing at church Sunday. Not that I was very good, but,
You must have been alright.
Yeah. And Sean, though, on the other hand, Sean was doing piano, but he was improving faster than me.
Okay.
And I don't know if it's because I took up the drums now, so he finally got a chance to improve. But to tell you the truth, Sean was sounding better than me on the drums for the first part of my drumming in church.
Okay.
Yeah. And I was like, what? And I had to find a different gear. So when I found a different gear now, Sean had to step back and just focus on his piano.
Okay.
Yeah, so that part's all right now.
Yeah. And then we finally found our groove and our rightful place. Because I also play piano and I was also a music teacher.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
I love that.
So that's how, we found our rightful instruments.
Yeah. Because they say, your instruments are like a part of you.
Right, yeah.
So I hear that. So how did you guys go from that moment to being on top tier level, really, with the likes of Damien and so forth? How did you get to that level?
Well, so tell you the truth, and this I'm gonna go way back.
Yeah.
My brother, he mentioned my brother's name, John. He was a touring musician too and playing and ship and stuff. But he used to tour with all of these major artists, Everton, Blender, Luciana, Anthony B, all of these people. When he was probably 17, 18. So he used to do that. You know what I mean? So it's not new to us, to the family. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but then Damien saw him playing in Montego Bay at a resort, and I think they took his number.
Okay.
And stuff. So they reached out to him when they were doing an audition, and at the time he went in the army. He's now in the army.
Oh wow. Bless
up. Music, he's a military man. Yeah. So when they reached out to him, he was there already. So he told them about me, his younger brother playing keyboard. So I went to do the audition, and when I went there, I saw that they were auditioning for drummers as well.
Okay.
So I told Damien about my brother, which put me, and so he called me, and we both did the audition.
Yeah.
And we got through, and that was it. Way back in 2003.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you never look back, yeah?
No. And then move from musician to producer and going forward.
Yeah. I hear that. So will yourselves be producing for this particular group?
Pardon me?
Will you be producing yourselves for Dukes of Roots? Will you be producing your own work?
The album, I produced the album.
Okay.
And T-Rod is a co-producer and executive and also the writer.
Yeah.
For the songs.
Okay.
He has co-writers as well, but he's the primary writer, and some of the composition, you could say. Yeah. So yeah.
Wow. So how did you find that process of playing as well as being the producer as well as everything else? How did you find working and juggling it all?
I was fascinated when I went to, like, Damien would after rehearsals he would bring us to the studio.
Okay.
You know, his studio with Steve. So at the time, Steve was, they were working on the Jam Rock album and all that stuff, and it was fascinating to see all of that, and I am a curious one. Trust me.
Yeah.
Anything I see, I really go and research, and so I was observing, and that's why I developed a passion for it, and just keep on practicing, and then I started, to work with him in the studios as the musician until we moved to production now, and what I mean.
Yeah.
So it's just me personally. I just feel like I like to evolve. I just feel like just doing as much as I can. You know what I mean? That is, So I kind of try to make everything fit in.
Yeah.
And then when Dukes of Roots came along, it was like, okay, let's do this. It's almost like a test to say, okay, I'm standing on my own 2 feet. Let me produce this without anybody else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Rally's there as a producer, but I mean outside of the Marley, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is me, yeah.
I hear that. Because you also did some works as well. Am I right with Kabaka P? Was it Feel the Love?
Yeah. Yes, the remix.
Yeah. Okay. So how did that come about as well?
So the relationship with Kabaka is pretty, like, he's my brother, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I mean, I was in the studio with Damon for like 9 years.
Yeah.
So I'm in the studio as a studio musician and co-producer. So and he has this thing with Kabaka, the beat, whatever,
Yeah.
So I was a part of that album.
Okay.
Yes.
I hear that. I mean, you guys.
So and honestly, sorry,
Yeah.
I don't finish answering that question.
No worries.
It was easy to get him on that song.
Yeah.
And they feel the love. Yeah.
I hear that. Definitely. So you guys all together have so much talent, so much love for the music.
Say it again.
I was just saying, as a collective, as a group, you already have so much love and so much talent for the music.
Yeah, man. That's what I'm saying. It's right now. It's like living it. So people on the outside might say, "Oh, this must be this," but honestly, we are living. Yeah, it's just It's like somebody call it and say, "Let's go play some football." Let's go play some music. Let's produce this song. It's only thing we are professionals. It's like somebody asks Messi, say, "Let's go play football." He's gonna play professional. Yeah.
So what's next for you guys? What can we expect next? I mean, you put out a great vibe already, but what can we see for the future?
A show near you.
Okay.
That's what's in the future. Coming to a city near you and everybody listening. Yeah,
Okay.
that's next. Yes, we want to share this great music with the world,
Okay.
Yeah. Also,
I'm gonna hold you to that.
of course, yeah, man.
Okay.
Wait, is recording also what?
Yeah, we're also looking to work on the next record.
Okay.
Yeah.
As soon as possible.
All right. I'm intrigued now. I want to say what's that, but I don't feel like you're gonna tell me.
Yeah, it's a surprise.
Okay. I get that. So for the listeners out there and the people that are going to tune in, how can they find you guys? How can they go and see what you're doing, what you're up to? Tell us that.
Courtney on checklist.
Yeah, Dukes of Roots, Instagram, Facebook, also
TikTok
website, right?
Yeah, and the website
And musical platforms, all digital platforms.
Okay.
Dukes.
So you're everywhere.
Yes, and also too, most importantly, the features. We have features like Steve Marley, Kabaka Pyramid, Darius Rucker,
Yeah.
and the Taurus Riley, Andrew Tass,
Yeah.
Nice. So you've got a long list of support.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. And before we kind of wrap up the interview, how important is to have the support from those before us and obviously yourself supporting those coming up?
One simple answer: real, no real.
Yeah.
but to break that down, you know, people identify professionalism. Again, that word keeps popping up in our conversation. Yeah, so it's not hard to identify saying, you know. Yeah. And I think that's why it's important to be professional, because people will identify that, and it becomes easy to work with. You know what I mean?
You definitely.
So, yeah, man.
I love that.
Yeah. In addition to that, also, you know, staying true to your culture, your genre.
Yeah.
Because, you know, our music, you know, anyone can pick up an instrument and play, but, you know, you can play reggae, but not with that feel.
Yeah.
And us as Jamaicans, you know, the world is looking towards us for the authentic sound.
Yeah.
So with us respecting our elders that set the pace, that paved the way for us, you know, it's important, because we are gonna be those elders to the upcoming generation. So it's important that we look up to our elders as we would have the kids looking up to us someday.
I hear that 100%. And you know what, I want to say thank you to you guys. I give thanks that you've took time out to have a conversation with me, to put your energy and your love into the music, and I thank you for being authentic to who you are, for real.
Yeah man.
I really do.
Yeah,
anytime. And you know what, you guys have my support. Any music, I'll be pushing it out 100%, and just keep doing what you're doing, because I'm gonna come on to the Instagram and follow you guys as well and show you some love.
Yeah man. Thank you.
Anytime, just keep doing what you're doing. You have my support 100%.
Alright.
Bless up. More love.
Thank you.
Anytime.
Yeah, man.
Have a safe journey. Bless up. Bless.
Thank you. Alright, bless up.
Bless.